In third grade, you learned about the geography of the state of Michigan. You may have studied the geography of Michigan by learning about what makes Michigan special. This year, in studying the geography of the United States, you will explore a similar question. It is centered around what makes the country in which we live in special. Before going any farther, take a moment to answer this question in the blue box below. What is geography? You may remember that geography is the study of the earth and how we, the people who live there, interact with it. In studying the earth, geographers ask questions. Many of these questions deal with where. One of the first questions that a geographer may ask in studying a place is, where is it? What tools do they use? Geographers study the world using a variety of tools. Take a look at this world map. Most of the United States is contained within the circled area on the map. Using simply this map, how might you describe where the United States is located? The map on the previous page helps us locate the United States on the continent of North America. This next map shows the United States but does not contain the circle. The line drawn across the map represents the equator. Using this map, how might you describe where the United States is? Adding to this map, we bring in another imaginary line, the Tropic of Cancer. Using this map, how might your definition of where the United States is located change? The United States of America is located in the continent of North America, but we can look even further than that. The U.S. is located in 2 of Earth's 4 hemispheres. Hemispheres are regions created when the Earth is divided in half. The northern and southern hemispheres are created when the Earth is divided using the equator, an imaginary latitude line. This is the green line on the map shown above. The U.S. is in the northern hemisphere. The eastern and western hemispheres are created when the Earth is divided by the prime meridian, the imaginary longitude line that divides the Earth. This is the pink line above. The U.S. is in the western hemisphere. Before moving on, click the interactive 1.1 icon on your text to learn more about longitude and latitude. On the map above, you will see lines going east and west, which are called latitude lines. As you learned in the interactive on the previous page, you can use the degrees, or numbers, on each line of longitude and latitude to find exact locations. Other tools used by geographers. A map is a common tool that geographers use in studying the Earth. A map is a great tool for showing information about a geographic area. Maps can represent a place such as a neighborhood, a town, a country, or the world overall. However, a map is sometimes not the best tool for studying the Earth because of its shape. While it's easy to carry a map around, ask your parents how they got from place to place before their smartphones could tell them where to go. A map distorts an image. A good way to think about this is to think about the shape of our planet. Is it flat? No. The Earth is a sphere. If you were to take another sphere-like object, think like an orange, and draw a map of the world on it, you'd have a great representation of the planet we live on. What happens when you peel the orange, however? You end up with something that is much harder to use. Before moving on, click the interactive 1.2 link in your text to see how an orange can represent a globe. A globe is a spherical representation of the Earth and is much more accurate. Does your classroom have a globe? Would a globe be useful if you were taking a road trip? Why or why not? Geographers also use aerial photography and satellite imagery to study the Earth. The map in the upper right-hand corner of this page is an aerial photograph of the United States. This one was captured by a satellite in space. The gold on the map shows major centers of population. As you look at this map, what questions might you come up with? Stop and think. Study the map above that shows major population centers in the United States. What questions do you have as you study the map? Have you ever been on a long road trip? When your grandparents were kids, they probably relied heavily on a map to travel from place to place. Your parents may have as well. As we have entered the information age, they probably got from place to place using a GPS device. It also probably came on their smartphones. GPS stands for Global Positioning System, and it makes use of satellites in orbit to collect information about where a user is on Earth. Stop and think. How might a geographer use a GPS device? Another tool geographers use to study a location is with GIS, Geographic Information System. A GIS utilizes software and hardware to collect and display data. It can help you display forms of useful information for geographers to explore. It is a computerized combination of map making, data about places, and computer technology. Someone using a GIS device is able to create a representation of places by layering information on top of the map and allowing people to manipulate information. Finally, you might not think of things like charts, tables, stories, and even people as being a useful tool that geographers use to study the Earth. Before moving on, click on Interactive 1.3 to learn more about GIS. Even with all the information gathered from the tools we've already explored, sometimes more knowledge is needed. Geographers may look at historical data, interview people who were at a place a long time ago, and even read stories from the past to help study a place. The 5 themes of geography. Geographers came up with an educational tool to help students explore geography. This tool is known as the 5 themes of geography. The 5 themes are location, place, region, movement, and human-environment interaction. Every section of this chapter will show you more about each theme and the question or questions that help explain it. This section dealt with the first theme, location. The 5 themes of geography. Location. Where is it? Place. What is it like there? Region. How might common geographic characteristics help people understand a place? Movement. How is the place connected to other places? And finally, human environmental interaction. How do people interact with the environment? In the next section, we'll talk about place, and we'll ask the question, what is it like there? See you next time. Bye.